Hello, YouTube. It is Road to Recovery, and today I want to do something a little bit different. You may have heard me talk in the past about how I've leaned on meditation and sometimes yoga in order to help level me out. Well, I think it's about time I actually practice what I preach and I show you what I do in terms of my meditation practices. What I'm going to do is invite you to participate with me as I do a guided meditation. This guided meditation will be only 15 minutes, and it'll start just here in a few seconds. And what I have is have an iPhone, and I just go to the clock app and I set the time on there for 15 minutes, right? It's the only tool you really need. Now, before we jump into the meditation, why do we do this? A lot of people who get into an addiction of whatever the addiction happens to be, they tend to have a lot of different cognitive problems that sometimes it can be stress, sometimes it can be anxiety, sometimes it can be loneliness, a host of other issues. The problem is that we get into a space where we can't deal with our current situation and our brain is just a jumbled mess. Sometimes racing thoughts, or if you've got depression, you always feel like you're down. Any number of things can be happening between the ears, and without having the tools to be able to counteract or at least work out what's happening to you from these internal forces, you can start really leaning into your addiction as a way out, and that's what we want to try to avoid. By using the tools such as cognitive behavior therapy, yoga, meditation, once you start getting good at this, it will allow you to disarm a lot of these internal forces that are happening. And I'll tell you straight up, it's not like you see in the movies where you see some, monk on the side of a mountain and there's a bird flying by and there's all peace throughout the world. Meditations work, man. My experience with meditation early on was extremely frustrating because I was internally processing, why am I sitting here? Why am I doing this? And that's part of the work. You should be feeling those things. By the time you've gotten good at this, in other words, you keep going at this over and over and over again, what will happen is that restless mind, that mind that's got 1,000 things going on that wants you to push and drive into doing other things, or is just, not feeling like it wants to work at this thing, that restless mind will eventually learn how to calm down. Now, the mechanics of actual meditation, if we just want to keep it at brass tacks, is pretty easy. All you have to do is pay attention to your breath. That's it. All you have to do is pay attention to your breath. Now, later on, I might do a few of these. We can work on some actual breathing techniques, but for now, we're just going to start the clock, and all we're going to do is pay attention to our breath. Now, when I start this clock, I might continue talking, but what you're going to do is you're going to get into a nice, comfortable seated position. Now, it's up to you if you want to get on the floor and be lotus position. I'm in my office chair right now. That's all you need. Just get comfortable. I'd like you to, if you can, try to sit slightly upright. Slightly upright. Sometimes you can pretend like there's a string, like you're a puppet, right? Just kind of pretend that there's a string that holds your back and you're just going to pull yourself up just slightly and take a deep breath and you're going to let that breath out. Now, I am going to click the start on my timer, and I'd like you to do that as well. So you just saw me take a nice deep breath, and I'd like you to follow suit. Go ahead and just draw your breath in and exhale. And as you're doing that exhale, really pay attention to how you feel. Let's do another breath. Big inhale, and then exhale. Now you might feel a little relaxed, I certainly do, but maybe you don't, and that's okay. Remember, this is your first time doing it. It's all good, man. It might be frustrating, and that's okay. But if you're feeling relaxed already, man, go with the flow. We're just going to take some smaller breaths this time, just your normal breathing pattern. Focus on the inhale. Focus on the exhale. In your comfortable seated position, you might have your hands on your armchair rest, or you could have them down on your legs or on your knees. Either way's fine, but once you get into that position, try not to move too much. I would, however, as we breathe in, exhale, just keep going with the breathing. Listen to my voice. I'd like you to focus on your fingertips. Whatever your fingertips are touching right now, just kind of observe that. Breathe in. Good, exhale. And after a while, you'll notice that the sensations on your fingerprints, your fingertips, it starts to feel different, almost like it's got a life of its own. Breathe in. Still paying attention to those fingertips. Can you almost feel the texture of whatever you're touching? Now, if you happen to have any thoughts coming into your mind, what I want you to do is just say, "Oh, look at that. I was just thinking about something." And just let it go. Now, if you're sitting down in the chair, shift your attention over to your feet. I happen to be wearing shoes right now, and that's okay. Maybe you're not. Either way, let your feet kind of dig in Don't move them around, just kind of observe. Feel the weight of your foot pressing against the floor. You might start to notice that your feet are tingling a bit. Your hands too. Your hands are nice and flat, laying against either your arm or your leg. The sensation is probably slightly different than it was a few minutes ago. Check in with that. And again, if any thoughts enter your mind right now, you're just going to say to yourself, oh, there I am. I'm thinking again. And you're just going to let that thought go. Now, this time around, I'm going to give you some instruction on how to breathe. Your next breath, I just want you to take it all in through your nose. When you let it go out through your mouth. Let's do it again. Big breath in through the nose. Now I want you to let it out with your mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Give me a few more of those. I'm not going to count with you this time. Some folks might tell you that you have to squint your eyes. Some say close your eyes. Some say keep your eyes open. I really don't care what you do. For me, I like to just keep them to where they're just barely open, where I'm seeing just nothing but light. Everything's kind of out of focus. And when I have my eyes like that, I find that I focus a little bit better on my meditation. Let's do one more through the nose. Then big breath out through the mouth. Now just do your normal breathing. Shift your attention back down to your feet again. What do your feet feel like now? back over to your hands. This time I want you to think about the individual fingers. Start with your thumb first. What's your thumb feel like? What's it touching right now? And concentrate on your fingertips. Now focus on the palms of your hands. What do the palms of your hands feel like? Now we're going to shift our focus back over to our head. Think a second about your lips. Do your lips feel dry? Can you feel the air every time you inhale and exhale? Can you feel the air moving against your lips? Still doing our breathing. Nice, easy, relaxed breaths. Let's take another breath. This time we're going to take an even deeper breath. Are you ready? Let's do it. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Let's see if we can even do a deeper breath this time. You ready? Join me. Inhale. Exhale. It's just us and our breath. Let's do another big one. Ready? Inhale. And exhale. You're going to feel like $1,000,000 after this is done. Check in with your whole body. What do you feel like right now? We're just going to slide back into our normal breathing. Getting close to the end here. that is it. That, my friends, is a meditation. Now, for me personally, I feel very relaxed. I know when I started out, originally trying to do meditation, that there was nothing relaxing about it for me. It took a little while for me to be able to get into a very comfortable state. Maybe you're not relaxed right now. That's okay. You keep coming back to the practice. I'll make a few more guided meditation videos and we'll mix things up a bit. We'll try different breathing techniques. The whole point is you get in a regular practice. Pick a time during the day. Some folks like to do it in the morning, some folks like to do it in the afternoon, maybe even before you go to bed. Doesn't matter. Over the long term, once you start getting adept at this, you will start to feel that your body is ready and able to accept meditative states at any time. And you won't have to go through a formalized process like we're doing right now. Once you get really good at this, the second you start feeling stressed, you're just like, oh, I'm just going to take a deep breath here. And that stress will eventually just melt right off of you because you've conditioned your mind how to get into that state. Very important. Meditation is a key component of my recovery, and I'm hoping that you discover it. This is Road to Recovery. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you found this information useful. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so, and stay on that road to recovery. Namaste.